Hey, my name is Trent. I'm the academic director at a school in Sydney, Australia called Code Factory Academy. We actually have a school as well in Baguio called Vivix Academy. This info session is just a nice run through of what we actually offer at our Baguio location. The main reason that we run a boot camp is as an alternative to more traditional education like university. With a traditional degree, you'd be spending 4 years to build up the skills to get into software development. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, especially professionals looking for a career change, that time frame is too long. Instead, what we have done is adopted a model which was popularized in America called the bootcamp model. The bootcamp model has seen a lot of success. In America, 73% of graduates report being employed within 4 months of leaving this style of education, with an average increase in salary of 64% in the American market. Why would you choose a boot camp over a traditional degree, and what are the differences? So with a boot camp model, instead of a 4-year degree, instead what you're doing is spending 6 months to get the same level of education. The core difference is that instead of just a couple of contact hours per week, or in other words 3 hours of lectures, instead you'll spend 8 hours in the classroom in an intense learning environment 5 days a week for the full 6 months. It's cheaper than a degree. A degree can run you tens of thousands of dollars, especially for software education. Instead, ours come up to just a few $1,000s instead. And you start building in-demand tech skills. What we mean by that is within universities, they teach programming languages such as Java and C++. And while they have relevance for large corporate businesses, the IT world at the moment revolves around startups and agencies. In our bootcamp in Baguio, we teach Ruby on Rails and JavaScript, which is what companies like Facebook and Google are currently using to deliver value to their customers. On top of this, we also have a work experience internship towards the end of our course. What this gives you is 4 weeks with actual career experience developing software on real projects. The intention of these internships is that they're almost like an extended job interview, which allows you to try out software development, but allows employers to actually see your capability that you've built up over the last 6 months. What are the potential job opportunities once you leave this bootcamp? So with our students, they're generally looking for more freedom and flexibility. Once you graduate from the bootcamp, you'll have the choice of becoming a digital nomad, which means that you can live in a lower cost of living area like the Philippines, like Cambodia, but still be earning Australian level wages, which can be up to 10 times higher. This means that you get all of the benefit of a high wage, while also the benefit of low living cost. You get to become a full stack junior developer. By full stack, we mean that you can code the front end, which is what the customer sees, but also the back end, which is the core programming and algorithm work. You can become a tech entrepreneur and start your own business. The way that we teach gives you business skills to give you the context behind why you should program. Our projects revolve around finding a real client and developing something of value for them. And we'll really step you through the process of creating your own business if that's what you choose to do. And lastly, you become an in-demand professional. To enter somewhere like Australia is quite hard, but if you have skills in a particular field, like IT and software development, the process becomes a lot easier. Currently, software development skills means that you're able to get your visa into many of the top countries around the world. So what actually is the course? What we do is teach you to be a teacher. And we do this for a couple of reasons. If you build up the capability to teach software development, it means that you can communicate it, you can actually understand it, but more importantly, you can practice it. By the end of the course, what we're really trying to do is make it so that you don't need to be taught anymore. Software is an ever-changing field where the frameworks, the languages will be different 6 months to a year from now. We set you up with skills which mean that you are able to educate yourself moving forward and won't need an education again. As far as what we actually teach, currently it's Ruby on Rails and what we call mean stack. This might change in the future though, as new companies are demanding us to build these skills within you to get you employed. We also teach UX, UI, and a little bit of design so that you can make pretty things for your customers. And we teach you core developer skills as well. And what we mean by this is the ability to manage projects and go from a problem all the way to deployment of a solution. We teach a little bit of computer science around database design, a little bit of mathematics just to get you started, but it's not too intense, and also some computer networking as well. Lastly, we teach you some of the skills that you'll require to get yourself employed. We teach you how to sit interviews, how to take technical tests, and also how to do pair programming. Some of the core technology that we teach currently is HTML5 and CSS3, Ruby on Rails, which is used for companies like Airbnb, React, which is what powers Facebook Messenger, AngularJS, which is what powers a lot of the Google products like Google Docs and Gmail, and some database technology like MongoDB. We have multiple industry partners, mostly based here in Australia, and what they're really looking to do is source developers that come out of our course. To make sure that we're giving them the kind of employees that they want, we have steering committees where they come and they tell us exactly what they need in our curriculum to make you as valuable as possible. Our curriculum is built in partnership with these industry partners, and what it really means is that you can be assured that you're getting the kind of education that the employers currently want. A typical day is 8 hours, so 9 till 10 a.m. you have the teachers available to give you mentorship if you're stuck. In this time you can request that they'll go over topics that you might not have understood, but you can also ask them general questions. 10 till 12:30 is concepts. So it's a little bit more like a lecture where you'll be introduced with a new topic. Although unlike a lecture, you'll be able to ask questions and actually have a dialogue with your teacher. It could be that what you're learning is more practical, so you'll code along with your teacher and actually build something practical like a clone of Twitter. 12:30 till 1:30 is lunch, and then after you come back off the break, you're given a challenge. And that challenge is really taking what you've learnt in the morning and trying to implement it in a way where you're solving a problem and building up those core skills required of you as a developer. Assessment. So unlike a lot of traditional educational facilities, testing for us isn't as important. You're with us 8 hours a day. We can see how you're progressing, and instead we try and test you less through actual written exams and more through practical projects where you're solving real problems, preferably for real clients. We do have a couple of examinations, but they're purely to make sure you're on the right track and keep you steadily heading towards employment. So we've had a number of really successful students. Alex Carolus from our first intake, he came from a background in academia, having lectured in philosophy for a few years. He's now hired by a really cool startup here in Sydney called Event Hub. He's employed as a full-time software developer, and he would never look back. So Winnie Street came from Oxford University, having studied archaeology and anthropology. After coming to Australia, she went to a couple of meetups and tech events and realized that she had a passion for virtual reality. Throughout the course, we kind of developed those skills within her, including the programming side of virtual reality, and taught her what she needed to take a step into the world of augmented reality, virtual reality, and hybrid solutions. She's currently a software developer at LifeIQ and has sat on many conferences and panels about the tech that she's passionate about. Lastly, we have Tristan Southwell. So Tristan came to us from an accounting background. He'd spent several years there and had realized that for him, accounting didn't offer the kind of continuous learning and education experience that he felt he needed. He felt he had stopped growing after he'd left university and wanted to challenge himself again. Coming through software development, according to him, was the best decision of his life. He's currently interning at eBay and Gumtree, which is an Australian version of Craigslist, and is doing exceptionally well. We have payment options available to you. You can find more information about that if you follow the websites and the links provided. Similarly, dates and terms are subjective at the moment, but we're aiming for a June intake for our Baguio course. So there's a couple of frequently asked questions that we've been getting in the Philippines. One is around whether the internship will see you flying across to Australia to partake in that company. The answer is no. Instead, what you'll be doing is a remote internship, where they'll project manage you and mentor you from Australia while you're still living in the Philippines. The other question we've been getting a lot of is around accommodation, whether we supply it and whether we supply food and meals with it as well. Currently, the answer is no. There is potential that we might have accommodation available by the time that we run the course in June, but it's not likely at this stage. If you want to actually ask and verify these questions for yourself, please reach out to Ace Estrada at Vivix Academy. Thank you very much.